this has a lot to do with that good guy with the gun. So it turns out the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. If you believe that, then the only thing that can stop a good guy with a gun are the police. And that was the case here in Colorado, actually, in a 2021 incident. And now the mother of someone who tried to stop a mass shooter is suing the police department because they killed her son. That's right, Johnny Hurley used his concealed carry pistol and shot an active shooter named Ronald Troyke on June 21st, 2021, after Troyke opened fire in a Colorado shopping and entertainment district and killed police officer Gordon Beesley. Again, the shooter did, not Johnny. Troyke did. Hurley then picked up the Troyke's rifle to remove the magazine. Remove the mass shooter's magazine. But when an Arvada police officer saw Hurley holding the rifle, the officer fatally shot Hurley from behind without warning. The wrongful death lawsuit, now filed by his mom in Colorado this week by Hurley's mother, Kathleen Boylan, alleged that the officer responsible, Craig Brownlow, should have known that Hurley was not an active shooter because Hurley and Troyke were wearing different clothing and looked markedly different. Unlike Mr. Hurley, the 3 APD officers did not spring into action, the lawsuit alleged. Rather, they cowered inside, choosing self-preservation over self-defense of the civilian population. So that is the Arvada Police Department, she's alleging. So her son has a concealed carry weapon, right? Supposedly what the NRA loves and gun rights people love. There's a mass shooting that takes place. He's able to shoot that mass shooter, then tries to disarm him because it's unclear whether he shot and killed him, tries to take out his magazine. Police arrive and they immediately shoot him. Meanwhile, apparently there are other police that are hiding, according to this lawsuit. Dan, it squares so perfectly now that we've seen what happened in Uvalde, if it didn't square already before.
Yeah, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, who are then stopped by more pseudo good, pseudo bad guys with guns, depending on the day. The bad guys with guns, by the way, who are waiting for someone else to do their dirty work. I think people have had experiences recently where they feel like, and this is kind of like a Democrat conservative thing again, where they feel like, oh, the police aren't doing enough to prevent crime. Once we report crimes, doesn't feel like there's follow through or whatever. And then, at least locally, we both know in Los Angeles, a lot of people love to blame our actually secretly conservative DA for not making the police work harder, which is totally not his job. But we ultimately have a recurring situation here. I'm so glad this is taken to court. This is put on the record. These are all allegations. They have to be proven, but I'm so glad this story is out there because we need to combat the narrative that more guns, good guys with guns, bad guys with guns, more guns, period, is a solution and not a problem, because it is very clearly a massive problem. The police aren't coming to save you. A massively armed government, as a leftist, I'm not a fan of that either. But having all these guns out there and sort of just deciding it's everything for ourselves, this is not sustainable. This only leads to more carnage. Agreed. Also, better police training, but how much more can we do, honestly? It's just whatever.
No, and that's the thing. It's like you don't need police training to see that one person is like not actually aggressing on other people, right? That they've got a gun, but what are they doing with that gun? Where's the police officer? Where's the person? Like, assess the situation. And certainly, and this I believe for everyone, although God, who knows if the Supreme Court's overturning this right, but you should never shoot someone in the back without telling them to put down their weapon and put up their hands. Come on, like it's the most basic, and every time there's a shooting, and usually it's of an unarmed black person, when they're shot in the back, it's like that is straight cowardice and malice, not to warn someone, not to give them the time to save their own lives. So again, everything went right here according to the NRA, except the police came in. And are we thin blue line people? Or I can never tell. Depends on what the weather is on a certain day. We buy the cops, we hate the cops, or we storm in the Capitol. Not clear. The point is, as Dan mentioned, more guns rarely make things okay. And I hope that this mother gets some kind of justice for the wrongful death of her son.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.